Shall I start? Anyone unmute yourself and tell me, are you viewing the screen?
Sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Uh, yes, okay. I will start now. Okay, once again, after more than 15 days, I was in hospital. I was affected by COVID-19. Now I am feeling much better, and today onwards, I will continue the online class as it is. And please cooperate everyone, and please keep 200 pages king size notebook and pen along with the mobile or laptop. Please, I, I used to give some few points which is very important for the examination point of view. For that reason, please write down few points while conducting the online class. First, introduction to metrology. So is already covered, but once again I'm telling the metrology is a pure science of measurement, and which is used for measurement of everything. You consider line, you consider length, mass, and weight. Next, come to the point. The definition of the metrology is the pure science of measurement, and measurement is defined as comparison of unknown magnitude with the known standard magnitude. That is the definition of measurement, also the measurement. Next, come to the point, objectives of metrology. So now, please all of you write your USN, and name in the chat box. While observing the screen, please write your USN and name in the chat box. That is the attendance for the class. First, come to the point, the objectives of metrology. The objectives of metrology is nothing but to increase the profit of the industry. Metrology means conduct the measurement of manufacturing system or machining system or anything, so that you can measure by using standard measuring tools. So from that you can increase the profit. We call it as productivity. You can increase the productivity of the industry. That is the objective of metrology. So here you have 6 objectives. Minimum 5 you have to write in the examination. Next, come to the point. There will be 2 types of standards. One is British system or English system. Other one is metric system. The English system is nothing but the inch, feet, and yard. Remember, metric system is millimeter, centimeter, and meter. But in case of English or British system, the length measurement can be done by using inch, yard, and inch, feet, and yard. See, the standards of measurement is classified into 2. One is English, other one is metric. English means inch, feet, and yard. In case of metric system, millimeter, centimeter, and meter. See, now all of you observing, seeing the IPL cricket match. So in the commentary, they used to tell 22-yard circle, 30-yard circle, like that. What actually it is? See, the cricket was invented in England. Till today, in England, they are following British or English system for marking of the circle in the cricket pitch. Till today, they are using yard, 22-yard circle or 30-yard circle throughout the world. For marking of circle in the cricket pitch, they are using British system or English system. So in case of metric system, so as usual, for measurement of length, we are using millimeter, centimeter, and meter. Next, come to the point. The standards are classified into two types. Sorry, three types. One is line standard. Second one, end standard. Third one, wavelength standard. Now we can discuss the line standard. See, all of you seen the lines are marked on the scale. All of you observe. So how do you carry out the measurement of length? How you carry out the measurement of length? See, the lines are engraved on the scale. The first line, first line is the first point of the scale and the other end of the length. For example, if you have 20 millimeter MS flat, how do you measure the length? For that, keep the scale on the 20 millimeter MS flat. One end of the scale coincides with the one end of the MS flat. The other line coincides with the other end of the MS flat. You measure the length by comparing the line on the end of the workpiece. Then you measure the length and you give the result. Is nothing but the lines standard. The lines are used as standards. See, for line standard, we have imperial standard yard. Imperial standard yard. See, the dimension of this yard is 1-inch square cross section. All of you observe here. This is 1-inch square cross section. All of you observe here. This is the imperial standard height. The length and breadth and height of this yard is 1-inch square cross section of length 36 inches. Remember, the length is 36 inches. And next, you come to the point. Here, they place the gold plug. The gold plug. The gold plug has the three lines engraved like this. The center line indicates the measurement line, which is the 36 inches. All of you remember, this is very, very important. Please, all of you, write down the question. I think all of you already you have the question. I can repeat once again. Explain briefly with neat sketches, line standard, comma, end standard, and wavelength standard. So usually in question paper, you have this question in the second question in module 1. Almost all the question paper, you have this question in the module 2. Explain briefly with neat sketch, line standard, end standard, and wavelength standard for 10 marks. For that, you have to write the imperial standard yard. You write the diagram, and this is the imperial standard yard, which is placed in Sèvres, Paris. That is the standard institution, British International Prototype Imperial Standard Yard. So the cross section is 1 inch, length is 36 inches, and the end they place the gold plug. Next, come to the point. In the metric system, say this is the Tresca cross section of 1 meter length. On the surface of this, the lines are engraved on that. The distance between the two lines is 1 millimeter or 1/10th of the millimeter. This is made from iridium platinum alloy. Iridium platinum alloy. 90% of iridium, 10% of platinum mixed together, and they form the metric system, that is the meter. This is called Tresca section. Next, come to the point, end standard. Nowadays, in Shumaga is considered as a smart city. Here, they measure the length of the site or length of the building by using the camera TOD light. We call it as a TOD light, which the civil engineers are using for measurement of length. So here they keep krypton 86 or cadmium 104 for measurement of length. So when you provide electricity to the cadmium or krypton, it starts to glow and starts to emit electrons that can be used as the measurement of length, and that is the wavelength of the light used for the measurement of the length. So now you have an idea that the line standard, end standard, and end standard. For this good example is micrometer. All of you already used the micrometer for the measurement of diameter. Say in the line standard, we use the lines, but in case of end standard, we use the ends of the anvils of the micrometer. Ends, all of you seen the difference between line and the ends of the micrometer. So that is the end standard. So when you keep the 20 millimeter diameter shaft in between the two ends of the micrometer, if you turn the thimble in clockwise direction, after the anvils make the point contact with the diameter of the shaft, you listen crackling sound. That is the diameter of the component, or the MS, or the diameter of the shaft. So then how do you measure? First, you take before measuring, you have to calculate the least count. The definition of the least count is 1 main scale division divided by total number of vernier scale division. That will give you the least count. So before conducting the experiment, calculate the least count of the instrument and then conduct the experiment. First, note down the main scale reading plus the coinciding vernier scale division multiplied by least count. That will give you the measurement. That is the end standard. In line standard, we use the lines. In end standard, we use the ends. And wavelength standard, we use the wavelength of the light as the standard. Next, come to the point. See here, the difference between line, end, and wavelength standard. See here, you have 8 differences. Just go through the differences. Already we discussed about this difference between the line, wavelength, and end standard. Just go through this, and if you have this question, clearly write the parameter, then write the standard. See, when you consider line, wavelength, and the end standard, the wavelength is the ultimate standard because of there is no error is coming in the measurement. For that reason, wavelength is the ultimate standard for the measurement of length. Next, come to the point, subdivision of standard. See here, you have 4 subdivisions: primary standard, secondary standard, tertiary standard, and working standard. So in the examination, suppose you have the question for subdivision of standards, just go through the explanation. Say here the international prototype meter is there, which is placed in BIPM, Sèvres, Paris. If anything happens to the secondary standard, they take the secondary standard to the primary standards only for comparison after 20 years or more than 20 years. Then secondary standards. Say this secondary standards are available in the capital city of all the countries. Then if anything happens with secondary standards, that is compared with the primary standards after 20 years or 30 years. Then tertiary standards. Say now tertiary standards are available in state capitals. So in India, we have National Physical Laboratory Thiruvananthapuram, where we have tertiary standards. After 20 years or 30 years, if anything happens to the tertiary standards, we take that standards to the secondary standards and compare the values. If any error is present, that is rectified and removed. And finally, come to the point, working standards. See, working standards are classified into reference, calibration, inspection, and working standards. As we are using the micrometer, vernier caliper, vernier depth gauge, vernier height gauge, and all the instruments we use in machine shop or workshop, that's considered as inspection standards or working standards. If anything happens to these standards, which is taken to the reference standard or calibration standard A, which is calibrated, and if any error is present, that is removed from the instruments. That's called working standards. Now come to the point, that is the subdivision of standards are classified into primary, secondary, tertiary, and working standards. Next, come to the point, say the transfer of line standard to end standard. This method is called NPL method, National Physical Laboratory method. So this is many question paper. You have this question, many question paper. So please, all of you, write down the question, explain briefly with neat sketch, explain briefly with neat sketch, transfer from line standard to end standard. So I've already explained this derivation and use half an inch block for this purpose, to half an inch block, and then note down the reading and note down the reading. You have the equation, substitute here and compare the length of the end standard to be calibrated using line standard. See that left hand side equal to right hand side, and there is no error. And the same way, you can, one more method is that you can take a 35 inches end bar and place the half an inch bar and note down the reading. In the same way, left hand side equal to right hand side, then there is no error. L equal to 36 plus sigma d by 4 minus sigma d by 2. While conducting this experiment, you understand how to conduct this. Next, come to the point. The one more experiment is that in many question papers, you have a question, Brooks level comparator. So this is very, very important. That you have a spirit level. In that, you have to note down the position of the bubble in the spirit level. First, place the standards like this, working standard, and this is master standard. Place the spirit level like this and note down the position of the bubble. And turn the table 180 degrees, then note down the bubble position. If any change in the position of the air bubble, that is the error of the working standard. So like this, you have to conduct the experiment for Brooks level comparator. So you have this question in the module 2 as well as in module 1. Next, come to the point, very, very important. Many question paper, you have a question on line standard, end standard, and wavelength standard. Say, characteristics of line standard. Please, all of you, write down the question. Please, all of you, write down the question. List the characteristics of line standard, comma, end standard, and wavelength standard. Say, all of you go through the characteristics one by one. So that is, the lines are engraved on the scale, and that is used for the measurement. The measurement is fast, which will not consume more time. And then this is the direct answer or direct result you have. And one problem is, if you tilt or incline the scale while measuring the length of the component, there may be error in the measurement. That is called parallax error. And sometimes you can use the magnifying glass for observing the line. So these are the characteristics of line standard. Then come to the end standard. When compared to end standard, the end standard is the standard one when it is compared to the line standard. For this, good example is measure the diameter of the component. Say you have a 20 millimeter diameter component. So I ask you to measure the diameter. So how do you measure? First, you keep the component in between the two anvils and tighten the thimble. And after the anvils or ends of the anvils make the point contact with the diameter of the component, you listen the crackling sound. That is the measurement. So it is a very precision and accurate when it is compared to the line standard. Then here the advantage of end standard is that there is no parallax effect, because you are keeping the workpiece or the component in between the two anvils of the micrometer. Next, come to the point, the characteristics of wavelength standard. So that is nothing but, here the error is nil. You can say the error is coming from the measurement of length is nil, because here the human involvement is less or nil. So for that reason, when you compare the wavelength standard with the line standard and end standard, wavelength standard is the ultimate one. There is no error. If you use the wavelength standard for the measurement of length, you will get accurate result. So in the examination, you have to write minimum 5 characteristics for line standard, end standard, and wavelength standard. Next, come to the point, the slip gauge. Say this is the slip gauge which is available in the metrology lab. That is M112 and M87. Say here the length of the slip gauge is standard and the width of the slip gauge is standard. The width is 10 millimeter and the length is 30 millimeter. All of you observe here. The length is 30 millimeter and width is 10 millimeter. That is standard. All of you observe here. The thickness of the slip gauge. Thickness of the slip gauge is the length, is the dimension. The thickness of the slip gauge is the dimension that is available for 112 set of slip gauge. You have 112 pieces of slip gauges starting from 1 millimeter to 112 millimeter. 112 or sometimes 110. The number of slip gauges available here is 112, starting from 1 millimeter to 100 millimeter. Starting from 1 millimeter to 100 millimeter. Next, come to the point. This is the slip gauge used for calibration of micrometer, calibration of vernier height gauge, calibration of vernier caliper, calibration of vernier depth gauge for measurement of taper, or using sign center and sign bar, you have to use slip gauge. Once again, the length is 30 millimeter and width is 10 millimeter and thickness is the dimension. 100 pieces are available. All of you observe here, starting from 1 millimeter to the 100 millimeter. So you can select any slip gauge according to the requirement. According to the requirement. Next, come to the point. For mechanical engineers, ringing of slip gauge is very, very important. Very, very important. All of you observe here. Say, for example, this is 10 millimeter and this is 5 millimeter. First, clean the surface of the both the slip gauges by using cotton cloth. By using cotton cloth, clean the surface. Any oil, grease, if it is present in the surface, remove by using cotton cloth. Then keep the slip gauge like this. All of you observe here. Then keep the slip gauge like this and turn the slip gauge and apply the finger pressure. Say, remember, first keep the slip gauge like this, 20 millimeter like this and 10 millimeter like this. Before that, clean that and keep the slip gauge like this and turn anti-clockwise or clockwise direction with your finger pressure. Then keep the slip gauge like this. Then if you release the slip gauge from one end, it will not fall. It will not fall. That is called ringing of slip gauges. Ringing of slip gauges. In the same way, you can join the number of slip gauges for the measurement. First, keep the slip gauge like this, turn clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, apply the finger pressure. Then if you release one slip gauge, the other one will not fall, which attach it to the other slip gauge or join to the other slip gauge or adhere to the joint slip gauge. If you release one slip gauge, other one will not fall. This is called the process of ringing of slip gauges. So you understand the ringing phenomena while conducting the experiment. Next, come to the point. See, all of you observe here. Types of slip gauges available in the metrology lab are M112, M105, M87, M50, M33, M27. See, the popular set of slip gauges M112 and M87. See, in this box, this is the M112 set of slip gauge box. The number of pieces available here set of slip gauges are 1 to 1.0099 pieces, 1.01 to 1.49, 49 pieces, 0.5 to 24.5, 49 pieces, 25, 50, 75, 100, 4 pieces, and 1.005, 1 piece. Total combined together, all the slip gauges, it will come to 112. In the same way, for M87, here the number of pieces are available is 87. All of you go through the range and see the number of slip gauges available in the M87 set of slip gauge. All of you observe here. This is the problem. Following dimension using M87 set of slip gauge block. Set of slip gauge block. How do you adjust the slip gauges for the dimension 46.3825? Say in M87 set of slip gauge box, you have a 1.0005. First, take this and deduct this value from the 46. Then you have 45. Next, go to the second and third and next go to the third decimal place, that is in M87. See that 1.002 is available. See 1.02 is available. Select that and deduct that value from the 45. You have 44.38. Then select one slip gauge for second and first decimal place. See, go to the table and see that 1.38 is available. See, observe here, 1.38 is available. Deduct this value from here and you have 43. Then you can select one block for unit place. 3. Number 3 is available. See, 0.5 to 9.5. 3 millimeter is available. Select that one, 3 millimeter. Then you have 40 millimeter. So for this is the whole number. Go to the table and see that 10 to 90, 40 millimeter is available. So deduct this value. Then you have set the slip gauges for the required dimension 46.3825, 1.005, 1.002, 1.38, 3 and 40. So like this, you have to select the slip gauge. Remember, you have the same type of problem in the examination. You have to build the slip gauge, selecting the slip gauges in the particular set of slip gauge block. Slip gauge set of block, maybe M87 or maybe M112. Please, all of you, write down the problem. Write down the problem. Build the following dimension. Build the following dimension using M87 set of slip gauge block. Set of slip gauge blocks. Put a dash. Put a hyphen. Put a hyphen. Write down 46.3825 millimeter. 46.3825 millimeter. Next, write down the problem. Build up your dimension. Build up your dimension of 35.4875, 35.4875 millimeter using M112 set of slip gauge M112 a slip gauge sets, full stop. Provide a pair of protector slips of 2.5 millimeter. Protector slips of 2.5 millimeter thick at both ends. In addition to the actual gauges. Refer table 1, M112. See, in this problem, they provided two slip gauges of 2.5 millimeter used for protector slip gauges. That is nothing but keep these two slip gauges. One is in the starting, other one is in the end. In intermediate, you can use the dimension. You can set the dimension in between the two protector slip gauges. See, the dimension of the two protector slip gauges is 5 millimeter. Starting of the problem, reduce for two protector slip gauge blocks 2.5 plus 2.5 5 millimeter. First, directly deduct the 5 millimeter of protector slip gauges in the required dimension. Then go to the table number 1. Observe here the dimensions of the problem according to the dimensions of the problem. See that 1.0005 is available. Set this block. For last decimal, remember 1.005 for last decimal. Deduct this value from 30, you will get 29.4870. Then set the third decimal place slip gauge. Go to the table. See here, it is available 1.0007 is available. Select this. Then deduct this value from 29, you will get 28.48. Then set the slip gauge block for first and second decimal place 1.48. Deduct this value from 28, you will get 27. Then select the block for unit place. See, here you have 27. 27 is not available. 25 is available. So deduct, that is the unit place, 2 millimeter is available. Select this, deduct this value from 27, you will get 25. Then select a whole number, 25 millimeter. Like this. See, all of observe here. 2.5 into 2. 2, that's the last one. 1.48, 1.007, 1.0005. So totally combined together, you have 35 millimeter, 4875. So you have two problems. One is using for M87, other one for M112. M112. Next, come to the point, another dimension. Please, all of you, write down this. List the slip gauges. To be rung together. W-R-U-N-G. Rung together to produce an overall dimension of 92.357 millimeter. 92.357 millimeter. Using two protection slip gauge of 2.5 millimeter size. 2.5 millimeter size. See, all of you observe here. The problem starts with the 92.352. Here also they are using two slip gauges as the protector slip gauges in the ends of the slip gauges. Keep the slip gauge in between the two protector slip gauges. For that reason, directly deduct 5 millimeter here, you will get 87. So first select the last decimal place, 1.007. Then deduct this value from 87, you will get 86. Next, select the slip gauge of the another second decimal place, 1.05. Then first decimal place, then you will get 84. Anyway, here you can use M87 or M112 set of slip gauge blocks. See that 9 is available. Direct the 9 from this 84. In case of M112, the 75 is available. So the building of slip gauges like this: two protector slip gauges of 2.5 millimeter and 1.007, 1.05, 1.3, and 9 and 75. So this makes the requirement of slip gauges 92.357. So while carrying out the experiment in the metrology lab, you understand how to build the slip gauges and how to carry out the ringing operation. And in the same way, the end bar. So this is for problem and slip gauges, and this is for end bar. So you have 4 end bars: L1, L2, L3, L4. So you have the errors like this: X1, X2, X3 like this, and left side is equal to right side, then there is no error. So this problem you have to carry out in the laboratory. First, to find out the length of the end bar G1, that is, you have 249.99. The total length of the bar is 999.9993. Say this problem is very, very important. So I will give you this problem for assignment. So for this is for assignment. Next class, I will give you this problem and carry out this problem in the next class. Now I stop at this stage and conclude this class, and I will continue in the next class. Pawan, you can unmute yourself and please. Vinayak, unmute. Hello.
Sir.
Can you understand the points about the first module of metrology?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now stop at this stage, and I will continue in the next class. Okay. Okay. I think all of you entered your numbers, USN, and name in the chat box. Yes. Okay. Now I stop at this stage. I will continue in the next class.